Hi students, this is Kumar, your maths teacher, grade 8. Next one is chance and probability. Chance. There are situations in our life that are certain to happen, some that are impossible, and some that may or may not happen. The situation that may or may not happen has a chance of happening. Has a chance of happening. The situation that may or may not happen has a chance of happening. Now let us see the few examples of situations that are certain to happen. Situations that are certain to happen. So the first example, the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. So this is certain to happen. The next example, getting a number from 1 to 6 by throwing a dice. Getting a number from 1 to 6 by throwing a dice. So this is also certain to happen. Then when a coin is tossed, then either a head or tail comes. When a coin is tossed, then either a head or tail comes. So this is also certain to happen. So the next, see the examples of situations that are impossible. Situations that are impossible. So the example, first example, you cannot get 15 out of 10 marks in a maths text. You cannot get 15 out of 10 marks in a maths test. So it is impossible. The next example, getting a number 8 by throwing a dice. Getting a number 8 by throwing a dice. It also impossible. Drawing a red ball from a bag containing yellow and blue balls only. Drawing a red ball from a bag containing yellow and blue balls only. So these are also impossible. So the next one is examples of situations that have some chance of happening, may or may not happen. Rising to 5-meter height. So this is may or may not happen. To throw a dice and get an odd number. To throw a dice and get an odd number. So this also may or may not happen. To toss a coin and get tail. To toss a coin and get tail. So this also may or may not happen. So now note, a coin has two faces. A coin has two faces. The face with Asoka Chakra is called a head and other is called a tail. A cube with 6 faces. A cube with 6 faces is called a dice. Its face has marking of dots numbering from 1 to 6. So the next one is probability. Probability is the measure of chance of an event or happening. Probability is the measure of chance of an event or happening. The probability of an event A happening is written as P of A. The probability of an event A happening is written as P of A. Thus probability is a P of A is number of successful outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. Probability P of A is equal to number of successful outcomes divided by total number of possible outcomes. The number of ways of achieving success is called favorable outcomes. The number of ways of achieving success is called favorable outcomes. Probability is comparison between the favorable outcomes and the possible outcomes. Probability is comparison between the favorable outcomes and the possible outcomes. Then the probability of an event is always a fraction between 0 and 1. The probability of an event is always a fraction between 0 and 1. Equally likely outcome. Equally likely outcome. When a die is thrown, then we have 6 possible outcomes. When a dice is thrown, then we have 6 possible outcomes. We say that there are 6 equally likely outcomes. Similarly, when a coin is thrown, it has 2 possible outcomes. That is head or tail. There are 2 equally likely outcomes. Now let us see the example. Roma, Kamal, Karna, Sona, Rajni and Parthi are the candidates for the selection of class representative. Find the probability of Karna getting selected. Find the probability of Karna getting selected. So the solution here, Roma, Kamal, Karna, Sona, Rajni and Parthi. So there are 6 candidates. There are 6 candidates is there. So the total number of possible outcomes is 6. So the question is, find the probability of Karna getting selected. So the number of ways this event can happen. So Karna, so 1. So number of ways this event can happen is 1. So the probability is number of successful outcome divided by total number of possible outcomes. So the probability of Karna is 1 divided by 6. Now let us see the few examples of probability. A deck of 20 cards has 5 black cards and 15 red cards. A deck of 20 cards has 5 black cards and 15 red cards. One card is drawn without looking at the cards. One card is drawn without looking at the cards. What is the chance that it is black? What is the chance that it is black? So chance here is the probability. What is the probability that is black? So the next question is what is the chance that is a probability that it is red? So here number of possible outcomes. So here the 20 cards. So the number of possible outcomes is 20. So the first question, what is the chance? What is the probability is a black? So here are 5 black cards. 5 black cards. So the number of 5 black cards is 5. Chance that are drawn card is black. So 5 divided by 20. So the number of successful outcome divided by total number of possible outcomes is 20. So 5 divided by 20. Now we have to simplify. 1 5 is 5. 4 5s are 20. So the answer is 1 divided by 4. So the second question, what is the chance that it is red? So here 15 red cards. So here the question, 15 red cards. So the number of red cards is 15. So chance that the drawn card is red. So here number of successful outcomes is 15. Total number of possible outcomes is 20. So here 15 divided by 20. Now we have to simplify. Fifth table, 3 5s are 15. 4 5s are 20. So the answer is 3 divided by 4. So the next example, a coin is flipped to decide which team starts the game. What is the probability that your team will start? A coin is flipped to decide which team starts the game. What is the probability that your team will start? Here the solution is, when a coin is tossed, then either a head or a tail comes. When a coin is tossed, then either a head or tail comes. So the total number of possible outcomes is 2. So one head, one tail. So the total number of possible outcomes is 2. So the question is, what is the probability that your team will start? So the probability of starting game, only head or tail will come. So the probability of starting game is 1 divided by 2. The next example is, a die is rolled. If the outcome is an odd number, what is the probability that it is a prime number? The question is, what is the probability that it is a prime number? So the solution is, a die is rolled. So there are 6 possible outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The total 6 outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here the question is, if the outcome is an odd number, so here the odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. So odd numbers are 1, 3 and 5. Out of these number 1, 3, 5. So the question is, probability that is a prime number. Out of this 3 and 5 is a prime number. 3 and 5 is a prime number. So total prime numbers are 2. So therefore the number of favorable outcomes is 2, that is 3 and 5. So 1 and 2. So the number of favorable outcomes is 2. So the question is, what is the probability that it is a prime number? So the probability of getting an odd number which is prime number. So the probability of getting an odd number which is prime number is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So number of favorable outcomes is 2. Total number of outcome is 6. So 2 divided by 6. Now you have to simplify. 1, 2 is 2. 3 2s are 6. So the answer is 1 divided by 3. So the next example. A card is drawn from a pack of 100 cards numbered 1 to 100. Find the probability of drawing a number which is a square. A card is drawn from a pack of 100 cards numbered 1 to 100. Find the probability of drawing a number which is a square. So here the total number of outcomes is 100. So the numbers are 1 to 100. So the total number of outcomes is 100. So the question is find the probability of drawing the number is square. So the square numbers are 1 to 100. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100. So the number of favorable outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the number of favorable outcomes is 10. So the question is find the probability of drawing a number which is a square. So the probability of drawing a card with a square number is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So number of favorable outcomes is 10. So the total number of outcomes is 100. Now we go to simplify. 0 is a cancel. So 1 divided by 10. So the answer is 1 divided by 10. The next question is a spinner is marked with the numbers from 1 to 10. A spinner is marked with the numbers from 1 to 10. What is the probability of, the first question is getting a multiples of 3. The second one is getting a prime number. So the third question is not getting a multiple of 2. So here the spinner marked with number 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the first question is getting a multiple of 3. Getting a multiple of 3. So here the total number of outcomes. So here the total number of outcomes 1 to 10. So total number of outcomes is 10. So the question is multiples of 3. So here the multiples of 3 is 3, 6 and 9. So here the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9. So the number of favorable outcomes is 3. 1, 2, 3. So number of favorable outcomes is 3. So the question find the probability of getting a multiple of 3. So the probability of getting a multiple of 3 is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So 3 divided by 10. That is the answer. So the second question is getting a prime number 1 to 10. So the prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7. So they prime numbers. So 2, 3, 5 and 7. So the number of favorable outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. So the question find the probability of getting a prime number. So the probability of getting a prime number is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So total number of favorable outcomes is 4. So 4 divided by 10. Now you have to simplify. 2 2s are 4. 5 2s are 10. So the answer is 2 divided by 5. So the next third question is getting a multiple of 2. Not getting a multiple of 2. So here the not getting a multiple of 2. 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So the number of favorable outcomes is 5. So 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So the probability of getting not a multiple of 2. So is equal to number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. So 5 divided by 10. 1 5 is 5. 2 5s are 10. So the answer is 1 divided by 2.